Hi everyone. I saw this technique on a scrapbook in a magazine that I saw at the library, and I really couldn't tell you who did it. You're going to take a 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock, whatever color you choose, score it 4 1/4. Then you're going to take your punches. And I'm going to demonstrate one punch right now, our scallop border punch. And the way I do my punch is I always start in the middle and try and line it up as well as I can on each side. The reason being is I go to one side and do that, do it again. And then I go to the other side and do it one more time. That way you get a more precise edge. And of course, you need to save these because you never know when they're needed. That was our scallop border punch. Now, most of the punches, as you can see, I've already done them, are going to be our edge punches, but most of the time you might use a different punch. And I'm going to show this one, which you can order this one soon. And then here's your eyelet border. And all you do is take a piece of paper the same size as your card and keep punching. And then you're going to take whatever cutting you use, and this is also your decision on what kind of length or width you want each strip to be. It all depends on what size your project is, what size your card is. And sorry. For this card, I actually use the border punch, and then I use my crocodile. And I used the 1/8 inch, and all I did was put a bunch of circles. I mean, if you really wanted to go and do something else, you could also emboss. Oops, upside down. I knew I was doing that. You can emboss, or you could even add some different size punches to create even more different types of effects for each scallop. So you're actually going to create your own and quite a few different types of variations. All it does is practice and see what you come up with. Alright, back to the card. I had to skip back to that. For a strip, I use these strips, and who saves these? This is the sticker backing from your stamps, and I saw this with Patty Bennett. And when you're using small, finely papered items or elements for scrapbooking or your cards, and I always use my snail. Love it. Unfortunately, when you have these smaller strips or smaller items, you'll end up getting glue all over your workspace, so everything is sticking to it, and this kind of helps it from sticking to your workspace. And then I'm going to glue this, ooh, my strip is smaller. That's okay. I'll just make sure it's in the middle. And then this is your pinking heart, which was in the Occasions mini that just ended, but the good thing is you can still order it, either from me or from your demonstrator. Next, I'm going to stamp. And yes, I like to use my Stampin' Majig a lot because I'm just not that good. And we're using Red Riding Hood, a new color. Well, not a new color, an old color, but a new color coming out again. And all I'm going to do is change it to friend, and then I'm going to line it up pretty well. Hopefully it's straight. Turn it back, remove my little acetate plate piece, and then just do a quick stamp, friend to friend. You can actually put whatever you would like. That is Teeny Tiny Wishes, and it has tons of sayings in it, and you cannot go wrong with that stamp set. My next is going to be my spiral punch. Yep, it makes a great edge. Then this is another thing I'd like to show you. And I will. You can actually use quite a few punches to create edges. And this one is our curly label punch. Curly label. With my curly label, I did this quite a long time ago. A friend of mine had asked me if I'd bought a new punch, and I told her no, I was just using my curly label. And I actually used both sides, as you can see, I hope, the lines that I created with a ruler. And all you do, and this one can actually create quite a bit of different variations. It all depends on what you do. Well, I can't go that way. If you bring it over to the very edge of this, you'll get a stronger point in between each punch. Now, if you overlap, you get a shorter point. So it all depends on what you're looking for. Another funny thing that I thought was pretty cool, your designer label. I don't have lines on this because I was just playing around with this the other day with a friend of mine. How about using your trio punch? Maybe just getting the top edges of it. And then spacing might be a little difficult, but if you take your time, I'm sure you could get some pretty cool spacing. Isn't that cool? Hopefully you can see that. Just try each punch, see what comes out, see what you like, and use it. Now back to the card. I'm going to finish assembling. And then I'm going to add my flowers, and these are my pretty flowers, and I dyed them with Pretty in Pink, and I think I'm calling it wrong. Riding Hood Red. I keep calling it Red Riding Hood. Another thing for the flower is this. I actually used our small basic grommets, and to get this effect, all you do is tie a little knot in your ribbon. I'm using dimensionals on the back of this flower with the daisy die from the Big Shot, a Pretty in Pink corduroy button, and I'm actually going to use my Tombow multi-glue, which is in the green bottle, and I don't have it over here with me. And for this one, I actually glued the ribbon itself. Here's another card I used, and I actually used some punches from our summer mini to create more of a tone-on-tone effect.
Told you he was your brother. We could reminisce, then you would go about your day.